Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So as we get just a little bit closer to the most anticipated fight of 2019, Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, Robert Garcia, he actually said something that was a little interesting. And he didn't say a whole lot, it was just the way he worded it. Robert was doing an interview with Ellie Setback, and he said, "The more I watch Errol Spence, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be an easy fight. Errol Spence is a bad MFer. But the more I watch Errol, I see Mikey winning the fight." End quote. The reason why this is pretty interesting is because, first of all, Robert Garcia, he was one of the main people in Mikey Garcia's camp that did not want Mikey to fight against Errol Spence. We've heard Robert come out and say it. We've heard Mikey admit that his brother Robert and his family didn't want him to fight against Errol Spence. They thought that was too dangerous of a fight, him jumping up one weight class, as opposed to fighting someone like a Lomachenko or even a Manny Pacquiao or anyone else at the lightweight division. And just to clarify, before I was talking about this fight, I kept saying that Mikey was moving up two weight classes, but actually he's moving up one weight class because Mikey Garcia has already fought at 140 twice before. So with that clarification out the way, I want to go back to what Robert said. Clearly, Robert, he understands that this is a very difficult fight. Clearly, Mikey Garcia and his whole family, they understand the obstacle that is ahead of them. But there is no doubt in my mind, the main person that has all the confidence out of everyone in Mikey Garcia's family is Mikey Garcia. He believes he sees flaws in Errol Spence's game. The question is, can he take advantage of all of those flaws? Like Andre Ward said, every fighter has flaws. Can you take advantage of them though? Now, you guys already know, if you've been watching my videos, that I've been giving Mikey Garcia a better chance than the majority of fans are giving Mikey Garcia. I've told you guys on countless videos that I believe Mikey Garcia is going to be one of Errol Spence's toughest fights, if not his toughest fight. Mikey Garcia, he does very well against southpaws, and he has one of the best right hands in the game right now. I mean, it's not a Deontay Wilder right hand where he only has to land one, but I truly believe it's the type of right hand that gets his opponent's respect right away. It's explosive and it's extremely accurate when it comes to Mikey Garcia using it. And we all know that is the best weapon to use against a southpaw. I'm gonna close by saying this. You know, when I tell fans that I believe Mikey Garcia has a better chance than what the average fan is giving Mikey Garcia, of course, some people be like, you know, I respect you, Dante, but I just don't see Mikey being competitive in this fight. He's gonna get KO'd in the first 5 rounds, etc., etc., etc. All of that is possible, but my point is, the people that disagree with me, they're doing it in a respectful way. But when I said that I thought that Mikey Garcia versus Robert Easter is a 50-50 fight going in, you had these Mikey Garcia fans that were so offended that I even said it was a 50-50 fight. Because I didn't say Robert Easter wins the fight, I said it was a 50-50 fight going in. Then Robert Garcia, he pretty much corroborated what I said, because the day before the fight, he said this may be Mikey Garcia's most difficult fight because of his height, because of his reach, etc., etc. And Mikey Garcia had even said in an interview a year before he fought Robert Easter that he thought that was going to be his most difficult fight out of all the champions. Now you'll have some fans that'll say, "Oh, come on, he only said that to promote the fight." No, he didn't say that to promote the fight, because Mikey has said this a year before he decided to fight Robert Easter. And if he was trying to promote the fight, how come Mikey didn't say this about any of his other opponents prior? So we know Mikey really thought that this was going to be one of his toughest fights. And Mikey, he ended up beating Robert Easter decisively, which was a really, really big win to me because Robert Easter was undefeated and was a champion that was calling Mikey Garcia out. So once again, my point is, when I said Mikey Garcia versus Easter was a 50-50 fight, these Garcia fans, they took offense to that. They started sending me racist messages and all kind of other stuff because they didn't want to hear that it was a 50-50 fight. They wanted to hear me say that Mikey destroys Robert Easter. This fight ain't even going to be close. He's going to knock him out. This guy, Robert, is a bum. He ain't even on Mikey Garcia's level. They wanted me to say something similar to that. But now, by way of contrast, when it comes to Errol Spence, I'm actually giving Mikey Garcia a better chance than a lot of people are giving him. And even though Mikey Garcia is much more of an underdog against Errol Spence than Robert Easter was against Mikey Garcia, these are the same fans that were saying you must be biased if you think that Mikey Garcia versus Robert Easter is a 50-50 fight. But now that Mikey Garcia is in an uphill battle against Errol Spence, these fans are still upset if you don't say Mikey Garcia is going to beat Errol Spence's ass. Because I'm reading some of the comments with fans saying, stop hating on Mikey Garcia. He's going to beat Errol Spence's ass. I can't wait until he shows all of you haters, etc., etc. Despite Mexican fighters like Canelo Alvarez, who's pretty much picking Errol Spence to win the fight, but he's rooting for his countryman, Mikey Garcia, of course. When these fans contradict themselves this way, they're not asking us to be non-biased, to be fair when we talk about these fights, when we cover these fights. They're actually asking us to be loyal to Mexican fighters that they actually support. They don't care if it makes sense or not. They don't care if it's true what you're saying or if it's a lie. As long as you're being loyal to their favorite fighters, that's all they care about. Case in point, once again, if I say Mikey Garcia is going to destroy and knock out Robert Easter easy, that's what they want to hear. So they don't have a problem with us saying things like that. But they don't want to hear you say Errol Spence is going to beat Mikey Garcia. No matter how close you say it's going to be, no matter how competitive, no matter how good you say or you think Mikey will do in the fight, they don't want to hear that. They only want to hear what they want to hear. They want you to be biased by showing a type of loyalty that they show for their favorite fighters. And if I were to oblige them and do that, then I would not be speaking the whole truth. And that's in regard to talking about boxing in general. Listen, guys, there is nothing wrong with being loyal to your people. But if you're going to be loyal to your people, just don't be a hypocrite at the same time. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.